Yesterday we learned that TMZ would be running a story about the shooting, and that their story would include certain aspects of the video footage that was captured that evening, and some analysis to that footage. In fact, some of that footage, even before TMZ aired it, had been circulating on the internet with some analysis. Of course, as members of his legal team, we had the benefit of having that video surveillance footage for the last several weeks. We knew exactly what was depicted on it, and so we knew exactly what it stood for. We've also had the benefit during the course of our investigation of interviewing several critical eyewitnesses who were at the scene that day, actually saw what went down, what was said. And so we've had the benefit of those interviews during the course of our investigation, and that is also important. Given that the video of the shooting is now circulating on the internet, we felt compelled to have this press conference because there was some reporting, frankly, depicting the decedent as an innocent bystander, and we wanted to make sure that the record was straight. First, the video posted by TMZ is identical to the video footage not only that we received during the course of our investigation, but that APD obtained on the first night of the shooting, on the night of the shooting. TMZ's analysis of the footage is also accurate. That is to say, the decedent and other members of his crew viciously and violently attacked Chaka from behind before a single gunshot was fired. To put everything in perspective, it is important to recognize that the establishment they were at, apartment 4B, was a local restaurant, and that Chaka and a business partner of his were renting out that establishment every Sunday, several months prior to this incident, without issue or complication. In other words, Chaka on that evening was at his place of business. After the decedent and his crew arrived there at the establishment, they parked their vehicles in the VIP section and eventually entered the restaurant. The video footage reveals that they were in the restaurant for less than 10 minutes, only to come back outside, demanding that they be refunded the money they paid for VIP parking. This establishment, when you got there, you had to be invited there. You had to either have a passcode or personal invitation of Chaka and or his business partner. And so these men were upset that they couldn't get in, and they came back out upset, wanting their money refunded. Shortly after the decedent and his crew exited the restaurant, Chaka, along with a friend, exited the restaurant. He had just received a call from a special guest who was coming to the establishment, the restaurant that night, and he went to go greet his special guest in the parking lot. As he's greeting the guests, the decedent and his crew are mingling around the cars that they parked in the VIP parking spaces. At some point, Chaka and his special guest and their company began to walk toward the restaurant to go back into the restaurant. That is when Chaka was confronted by one of the crew members of the decedent. That crew member's name is Trayvon Robinson. The confrontation went very south very quickly. And as a result, Mr. Robinson began to reach for his waistband. Chaka, in an effort to try to de-escalate the situation, told the young man, "Don't reach for that," on more than one occasion, essentially trying to keep the peace and de-escalate the situation. That is consistent with who this man is. He's a man of peace. He's a son of this city. Everybody loves him. He is a beloved person here, and he is not a man of violence. Unfortunately, that didn't work. An independent eyewitness corroborates this fact. That independent witness was one of the valet attendees, doesn't know Chaka from Adam, doesn't know Tremaine Robinson from Adams. Simply refers to Chaka as the old guy and Tremont Robinson as the young guy. But eventually says to the City of Atlanta Police Department, this witness says, I saw Tremont Robinson reaching for his gun. I believed he had a gun, and I overheard Chaka telling him, put that ish away, put that ish away. The video then reveals that at some point, Mr. Robinson motioned to the rest of the decedent and his crew to come to his aid, and then chest bumped Chaka, making the first physical contact with Chaka, at which time Chaka grabbed Mr. Robinson and pushed him up against the car, and in an effort to ensure that he could not reach for his firearm. Seconds later, Chaka is viciously attacked from behind by the decedent and his crew, and in fact, the decedent is the second one to punch and kick and stomp Chaka as he falls to the ground, seeking to take a posture of coverage as he is at this point defenseless, fighting for his life. Fortunately, Chaka's assistant sees this violent assault against Mr. Zulu